25 investigates with a warning about identity theft tax fraud that's costing the country billions of dollars.
A Marlboro woman says someone else filed a tax return using her name and her social security number.
Anchor and investigative reporter Carrie Kavanaugh shares the one thing everyone can do right now to make sure it doesn't happen to you.
This Boston 25 News viewer reached out to me frustrated. She says when she contacted her tax filing service and the IRS, she felt like just another number. This type of fraud is costing us, the taxpayers, big bucks. So we wanted to know what's being done to stop it.
My heart kind of sank.
For Pamela Barbario, that sinking feeling came when she went to file for an extension on her 2023 tax return through H&R Block.
I saw that there were 3 entries. 2 of which were failed attempts at filing, and the third one was successful.
A successfully filed tax return that Pamela says was totally bogus. According to her account, the return indicated she made about $8,300 last year and had close to $14,000 in deductions and was due a $600 refund, which was processing.
It was a W-2 from a company that I've never heard of, have never worked for, and then in the signature panel, there was no signature.
The return did have her name and social security number. She says she called H&R Block right away.
Just confirmed my phone number and said, somebody from the investigations department would be in touch with me.
Pamela says weeks later, she was still waiting for a call back about that investigation. She also called the IRS and was directed to fill out Form 14039 or an affidavit of tax fraud. From there,
he told me that the resolution timetable for these matters is 120 to 650 days.
We're talking about years to resolve this.
Potentially years.
According to an annual report by the National Taxpayer Advocate, individuals who are victims of tax-related identity theft are waiting an average of nearly 19 months for the IRS to process their returns and send their refunds. The advocate flagging identity theft as one of the IRS's most serious problems.
The IRS has millions of these returns.
John Warren's an enrolled agent with Medford Tax Experts. He says the IRS has to sort the real return from the fake one, and that can take time, holding up refunds that many rely on. But he says there's one thing all taxpayers can do to better protect their information. Get an Identity Protection Personal Identification Number, or IPPIN.
And this is a 6-digit code that today anybody can sign up for, and no one can file a tax return without that special 6-digit code.
You can sign up here at irs.gov/IPPIN, and that PIN is good for a year, and the IRS will issue a new one annually. Warren also says never email your tax records or any personal information, and don't take photos of them either.
You shouldn't use your iPhone as your tax file cabinet.
Instead, share important records using encrypted, password-protected file storage only.
Fortunately for me, that money wasn't released, but there's probably many cases in which that money is received by these people.
25 Investigates contacted H&R Block about Pamela's case. They said the bad actor did not obtain any of the client's data through their systems, adding there's been a dramatic increase in identity theft, and that comes at a cost to all of us.
Something like this happens, and it's like, well, take a number, you're just another casualty.
After we called H&R Block, Pamela says she did finally get a call, and they're expediting her claim. I also contacted the IRS, who told me in part the IRS is committed to protecting hardworking people and small businesses from scammers and fraudsters who try to use the tax system for their schemes. The IRS would not comment on how long it's taking to sort out the fraud and get refunds processed. For 25 Investigates, I'm Carrie Kavanaugh.